I'm going to do a video on trigonometry. So let's start with what trigonometry means. So trigonometry means the study of trigons. It can be broken up into trigonian, which means triangle, and metron, which means to measure. So trigonometry is the study of trigons, and it first appeared in English in 1614, translation of Pitsukus. How it was first used, trigonometric functions are fundamental mathematics. You see them everywhere. The functions were developed while attempting to measure to solve practical applications such as astronomy, navigation, and land measurements. Today, some applications of trigonometric functions not only include derivatives and integrals in calculus, but are also used to solve physical or engineering functions. So we can use the trigonometric functions to find the force of different directions, or the force in space, which is used in engineering, such as civil engineering, to design structures. Engineering, such as civil, to design structures. Before we jump in, I want to start off with defining angles. So we will start off by defining angles. So defining angles. So that was our applications, your reasoning for this. So defining angles, you have two different ways of measuring them and converting from one another. So you have two different ways of measuring. I will show you what these are. Okay, so let's grab a circle. I was drinking a probiotic drink, so I'll make a circle out of that. Okay, so I have a circle there. We have a midpoint. Let's pretend that's the exact midpoint. And this is, okay. So we know in a circle that a circle here is 0 degrees and all the way around is 360 degrees. We know here, we've learned that this here is a radius. We know, let's say we copy and paste that here. This is a radius. Let's say this is a string now and we wrap it around the circle. We find out now this is 1 radian. We find out that this now is 1 rad. So this angle here is 1 rad. Then let's say we copy and paste this here, right? This is 1 rad, the radius. We now know we have 1 rad, 2 rad, right? So we know this here. We know this here now is 2 rad. Let's say we copy and paste it again. This is 1 rad, and let's say now entirely this part, whole thing here, that is going to be 3 rad. Now, but that's not quite 180, okay? Now let's say we went fully. We have found that fully here for 180 degrees, we have found out that this here is pi rad. Okay? So, as we can see here, there are 2 different ways of measuring angles, right? We have radians, 1 rad, 2 rad, pi rad, 2 pi rad. Those are examples. We have degrees. We have degrees. We have 180 degrees, 70 degrees. Those are examples, okay? Okay, but suppose you have radians, but you want them in degrees to do some calculation. You have to use conversions. So to convert, you will multiply by 180 over pi. So let's do an example. Let's say you have 7 pi over 6 and you want to change that. So you'll multiply by 180 over pi. We have a pi and a pi there, so they cancel because that makes 1. You have 6. 6 goes into 18 3 times, but into 180 30 times. So Now you can multiply and you have 7 times 30. So that's 210 degrees. And that makes sense because 180 degrees is like pi plus 30 degrees. That's approximately pi over 6. That is pi over 6, right? Pi over 6 is 30 degrees, okay? So that's how you would convert. You would convert from radians to degrees by multiplying using this here. Okay? Yeah, so that's a pretty cool way to find out about radians and degrees. That's all for today. Yeah, that's all for today. Bye-bye.